Hello and welcome back to another walk test video. Today we're going to talk about predictions for Microsoft Build, and the big developer conference is kicking off tomorrow in the States. Everybody that's anybody in Microsoft development is going to be there, and it's pretty exciting. What can we expect? Okay, so for example, we're going to start off with a pretty strong keynote from Satya Nadella, obviously playing on the growing success of Microsoft as they go through this great renaissance in terms of the company and how it interacts with their consumers, both in the home and business market. We'll probably see some kind of presentation that continues on with the social benefit aspect of Microsoft's work, like Project Emma from last year. Project Emma, for those that don't know, was a wearable that did something absolutely incredible for a girl named Emma, who was a graphic designer suffering from Parkinson's disease, that actually helped to get back into being able to use her hands again and draw. So expect something like that. Now let's get to the tech. Windows 10. They're going to talk about Windows 10. It's not going to be the focus. Desktop is not the focus of Microsoft anymore. But they will mention numbers and features of the Spring Creators update that we've just all got, that I mentioned in the last video. We're probably going to hear more about more fluid design in the operating system and the apps and what's coming next. You can pretty much assume a big hat tip to the Windows Insider program and Cortana. We can expect more devices, more app integrations, a wider variety of services that Cortana can handle, and the rumors of an improved desktop mobile user experience for Cortana. Hopefully that's coming as well. It's good now, let's see it getting great. Office 2019, more cloud, more collaboration, and an expanding tool set. But probably the focus is going to be on applications like Teams. Teams has become the big killer app in Microsoft, integrating with Skype for Business and allowing app integrations. This is Microsoft's Slack killer, and they're doing pretty amazing things with it. We can also expect improvements to Microsoft Graph. The developers are going to get a bigger tool set there to do more in Windows and in Office with that. Obviously, buzzwords that we're going to hear and things that are going to get more APIs, more SDKs, are a focus on bots, AI, and Microsoft's cognitive services, more services, better integration, and probably more cross-app times. The big moneymaker, the thing that Satya Nadella made his name with in Microsoft, Azure. Obviously, we're going to hear more about Azure, and improved Desktop, improved Visual Studio integrations, probably more big data databases, containers, and very probably stronger DevOps representation. One thing that we can expect to see, and if we don't, I'll be really surprised, is some serverless version of Azure that is going to compete with Firebase, Google's serverless offering. Come on, Microsoft, you really got to play catch up here. Another big moneymaker for Microsoft in the consumer market is Xbox. You can pretty much assume that we're going to hear more about Xbox and what's coming next. Maybe a big presentation of some of the games tie-ins that they're going to have. Anyway, it's interesting, and we've got to see where Xbox is going next. Microsoft Mixed Reality, new tools for development, very certainly increased collaboration with Unity, more talk about OEM headsets for Windows 10, and are we going to hear about HoloLens 2? Who knows? It's about time that HoloLens got an upgrade. Whether they're ready to roll it out for build now, or we're going to see this later in the year, only time will tell, and time, well, this week in the next few days. Visual Studio, more open source. Microsoft has become the king of open source. They've open sourced a version of .NET. They're working with Git. We're probably going to see even tighter Git integration improvements. Everybody's going to get more SDKs and APIs. There's obviously going to be more Xamarin goodness. And if you work with HockeyApp, then very, very probably you're going to get the integrated and rebuilt Visual Studio App Center out of beta and fully deployed after build. The next big thing that's coming, if you've been following this, is progressive web apps. Progressive web apps is the next phase of how you're going to code once, and deploy cross-platform. We're already seeing a couple of apps out there for Windows 10 and Windows 10 Mobile even, with Twitter. The Windows 10 Progressive Web App is pretty darn good. Mobile, there's some features missing and not everybody's happy with it. Internet of Things, development, deployment, and management. Obviously, there's got to be more progress there, excuse me. Now, devices, hardware. Are we going to actually see something new in the hardware market? And by hardware, we're talking about Surface here. Surface is Microsoft's hardware brand now. We all know that. Big question is, are we going to see a new version of any of the Surface devices? Well, we just got Surface Book 2. We got the Surface Laptop, which basically has the Windows 10 S that's meant to compete with Chromebooks recently. And we recently got the new Surface Pro. So, new versions of existing hardware, probably not. What everybody's waiting to hear about is Surface Mobile. Is it going to come around? Are we going to see it now? Who knows? Microsoft has said that by 2019, Windows 10 Mobile is probably going to get end of life. Does that mean that all these devices are going to die? No, we've heard it all before. Windows 10 Mobile is dead, Microsoft Mobile is dead, but the rumors are out there of a project codenamed Andromeda, a folding tablet that can turn from phone into tablet. Phone is not going to be the premier functionality of this device. What else? There were rumors of a Windows 10 Lean version, which, if we get what we want, it's going to be the same Windows 10 as you have on your desktop, on your laptop, just designed for these ARM devices, and it's going to have the phone APIs in. It's going to allow you to make phone calls. It's going to allow full mobile connectivity, but you're going to be able to run the same apps that people develop for the desktop on this device. Who knows? I'm not optimistic that we're going to get it, but it's a chance. We could hear about it. This could be the first official announcement. Microsoft really needs to start letting us know what's happening with mobility. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of other surprises. Everybody seems to feel that this build, even though the last build and the one before that were very mixed. It wasn't just for developers, it was also for the consumers, people. The actual home users got a lot out of these conferences. We're going to have to wait and see, because people seem to think this is going to be a lot more developer focused, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because the more that developers can do on Microsoft platforms, the more the end user benefits. Anyway, that's what I've got. As build progresses this week, when we hear more, we'll let you know. Stay in touch.